Before recruiting wars, before tweets, likes, and snaps, before March Madness, there was a girl with her dream and a love for the game. Welcome to the Opinionators. Our stories, our voices, our sports. Strong women, strong opinions. Deal with it. Let's go. All right, y'all. Welcome. You heard it in the introduction. The Opinionators, right? So ain't no soft opinions on this show. These are people who are coming on this show. They're going to tell you what you think. I'm going to tell you what I think. We're going to talk about all things women's basketball, all things women's sports, because we are the most opinionated women's sports talk show on the airwaves. Strong women, strong opinions, deal with it. My guest for today is Adrian Goodson. Y'all know who Goody is, but let me tell you just a little bit about Goody. Played for one of the most iconic coaches in college basketball, Marianne Stanley, Olympic coach, amazing WNBA coach, Goody, All-American, All-Star in the WNBA, also played in the ABL. Let's not forget the ABL because the ABL set it off long before the WNBA did. All-Star, played the Utah Stars, San Antonio Stars. You got around in the league. Let me just say that in a good way. You got around in the league and was doing damage, doing work, playing with some of the most iconic players in the WNBA and the ABL. So we're going to jump it off. Adrian Goodson, welcome to the show. This is the rundown. How you feeling out there?
I'm good. The rundown, like you, that looked like a bad play. That looked like a bad play.
This is the playbook right here. It's all over the place. We got a little ooh-wee. We got a hell to the no. We're going to have some fun today. That much we know. So just tell us where you are today and where you've been, what you've been doing for the last 10 years.
Oh my goodness. The last 10 years? Come on, Fran. That is a you know, we don't even have enough time on the show to do that. Quite honest with you, just building myself, trying to brand myself and, continue to keep myself out there. I teach, I coach boys basketball, been in numerous, as you saw, WNBA, NBA programs out there. What program I was a part of, NBA assistant coaches program, leadership program, top 100 program, all the way to broadcasting program. The list goes on and on. What I did, services as far as they're concerned, stay very active with junior NBA, the NBRPA, and helping them build themselves and brand themselves and have camps and stuff like that. Hope to see that partnership back with the PAL. You can't be breaking relationships with the PAL. But I've been doing quite a few things. God is good, and so I left that girl, that woman on the basketball court, and now it's more about professional and button your tie and try to keep without waiting.
You're one of those athletes. We have a segment in the show called Athletes Who Mean Business. You're definitely one of those athletes. In fact, you were on my first show called Athletes Who Mean Business about 6 or 7 years ago. So, we do what we do. We love to top it up with each other. But I want to go back before we get into the playbook. Before we get into the playbook, I want to go back to why you, as a young girl, chose Old Dominion University, one of the most iconic women's basketball programs on the planet. Could have gone anywhere in the country. Why ODU?
Absolutely. I just think that they had a great flow. And I can tell you one thing, you have to shout out Coach Wendy Larry, because she was on point.
Yeah.
One of the best recruiters out there. I got a card on every single occasion. It wasn't even my birthday. It was like holidays and occasions that I was like, what day is it? Like every single event that was going on the calendar, always coming to watch me play and, just showing that kind of concern. And even before, we'll go back, shut that down. Even before that, I was a little girl. Sometime, didn't listen to mom all the time. So I didn't listen to mom. That's it. But in the house, you stay in the house, you punished, you're not going out. I'm like, bah. So she's like, listen, we're gonna watch the women's basketball game. I'm like, what? They don't show women's basketball on TV, mom. She was like, yes, they are. I go in there. I'm like, whoa, lo and behold, here's Tennessee with this player called, I think her name was Big something, Big Mo or somebody. And they were playing against Old Dominion, and it was Nancy, there was English and Ann Donovan, that crew, and they were playing against Tennessee in the championship. And I didn't know it was the AIAA. I just was watching women's basketball, so I watched it. Oh my God, they're going at it. I think her name was Big O, and they were going at it. So Old Dominion wins the game. I said, yo, this is awesome. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, Terminator. I'm going to that school. So I go in the kitchen. I say to my mom, you know what? I'm going to Old Dominion University. She's like, yeah. My face. I'm still mad at you. And that was the end of the story. So then,
wow.
Here it is. Then it's like I was in 8th grade. So then, a couple of years later, like 8 years later, that was actually manifesting. And I was like, wow. But I knew that I always wanted to go to that school, but there were other schools that were out there that were recruiting me, like, Tennessee, Iowa, Vivian Stringer, just just coming from everywhere. So I really wanted to make sure that I was making the best decision. But it was when I went to Old Dominion and I, walked in the gym and they had the whole ambiance and, oh, here's Adrian Goodson. And, they had this whole skit with me scoring the winning basket and us winning the national championship. And how plugged in, how much did that plug into my soul? And speak that even that would manifest a year later, that we would be holding up the ring saying, the ring, national champion. God bless with the That's my little short story. I don't want to take up too much time.
So I want to say two things. Number one, y'all need to peep game on Wendy Larry and how she was recruiting this All-American from high school. Some of y'all ain't doing that. Y'all ain't doing that kind of work in 2022, where you hitting them up on every single holiday. That was some work. Way to go, Wendy. Way to go, Wendy Larry. But then I also think about you playing in the 1985 national championship game on my home court. We're not going to talk about the fact that Texas didn't make it back to Austin. I brought it up. I brought it up. We lost to Western Kentucky in 1985, didn't get to come back home to play on our home court for the 1985 national championship, watching Old Dominion just sitting in the stands like, man, that's jacked up, man, right there.
The ring, holding up
the ring. The Holy Ring, Medina Dixon, Tracy Claxton, ballers for days with y'all, man. That was crazy. That was a great team.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So it's a great segue, Goody, into Title IX, because you talked about scholarship. You talked about watching that one game that was on television the whole year. We didn't get to see us, every other night on ESPN and Fox Sports. Like, you had to wait until April or the end of March to see us play one game. Title IX in 1972 was trying to change all that. What do you think the biggest impact has been that Title IX's had on our game over the last 50 years as we celebrate 50 this year?
Oh my gosh, it's just, there's so many things, Franny. I can't even pinpoint, just from opening it up for, us to be able to market and brand and merchandise, just to be able to capitalize on our likeness. To be able to be out there and promote social injustice and be a part of so many things that are so much bigger than we are. It's absolutely what it has done. I, sat around and, just like you said, just to piggyback off of that, waiting for that one game, that definitely forces me to think about Old Dominion University and how instrumental they were. And I wish they would get back to it, because Dr. Jarrett, every single year, we had the East Regional Conference was at Old Dominion University. Okay, it was there when it was at the house, and it was there when they first built the TED. And it's seemingly strange that like a lot more of basketball isn't filtering out of that program anymore. And I hope that we get back to that.
Yeah, great coaching staff. I remember in my sophomore year at Texas, and it was freshman and sophomore year, back in the day, let me give y'all a little women's basketball lore and legend. They used to, early in the NCAA bracketing, they would kind of situate you kind of close to where you played. So if you were in the South, you were playing somewhere in the South, Southwest. If you were in the East, you were playing they didn't send you all the way across the country because money was still an issue. So unfortunately for Texas, that meant that we were probably going to get sent to Ruston, Louisiana, where Louisiana Tech was. And we're talking, let me, for those of y'all who've never seen Louisiana Tech in 1982, 83, 84, let me just tell you the front line, 6'4", 6'5", 6'4", wing on the wing, 6'3", Lori Scott, and then Kim Mulkey at the point guard. Killers, absolute killers. And it was like, dang, you couldn't even, I was on the wing, I couldn't even see over their wings because their wingspan was so long and they were so tall, but we had to go there, Goody, twice. Freshman year, sophomore year, we're like, come on, NCAA. I mean, we might be able to beat somebody out west, but we're not going to beat Louisiana Tech because they were that good. All right. So we're going to keep this show going. Great for us to be talking about the bracket. Who did you see where you thought you looked at the 68 team bracket, Goody, and you were kind of surprised at who they're going to have to face in their region?
I kind of kept it open. You know, I knew that there would be a lot of happy surprises, especially when you put that extra 8 in there. So then it was kind of like things just got a little tricky. And, I was just, to be honest with you, just kind of open with everything. You know, I do have some favorite teams that are in there that I'm forward to watching play. I think the Midwest, they've really had a fantastic season this year. I thought a lot of teams emerged out of the South, out of the Midwest, definitely, Iowa. I enjoyed watching that team. I enjoyed watching Iowa State. I enjoyed Kentucky. I enjoyed, Stanford. Wow. Their team is just absolutely incredible. Louisville's always coming with something. North Carolina State. Happy surprises. I hope that they go far. Just some great teams that are out there. Georgia Tech. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say anything about Dee Staley over there in South Carolina. So
we're going to talk about her.
And even though that they didn't come out as champions, this year, they're definitely still the team to beat, and and them getting beat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking, I love the mention of NC State because I got 3 or 4 that I'm thinking, I hate you had to go there. You look at the Bridgeport, Connecticut region. You got Connecticut out there. Everybody was wondering whether Connecticut was going to be strong, and then Paige Buckets came back, and now they're a little bit stronger, a lot stronger with her playing. She's not starting coming off the bench, but then NC State's up there, and so you hate to see that because I love what Coach Wes Moore has done in Raleigh, North Carolina, and the fact that his team. I love the way they play. He's one of the greatest coaches in our game right now, and that's going to be a very, very tough region. I'm looking out west. Everybody's thinking that it's going to be a hands down going to be Stanford. I don't know. I did watch Stanford most of the year. Very big fan of Tara Vanderveer. But there's just a lot of different kinds of basketball that's being played all over the place in terms of regionals. Ultimately, after the first and second rounds this weekend. But I also love the sleepers. You mentioned Kim Mulkey. I don't know that we're surprised by what Kim Mulkey has done in her first year at LSU. But I think most people, the general convention is that, coach goes there, they got to get them settled in. They got to figure out, how they're going to do what they're going to do. Kim Mulkey is a beast. So I got to ask you this. Did you see the clip on Kim Mulkey when she was kind of like in a track race with the official the other day and didn't get thrown out?
Listen, they business on social media, man. Like they something, they're like in prey, just waiting for her to do something, so that they can make a meme out of it, And the spirit and the spunk that she brings to the game is absolutely incredible. I'm glad that she's still around, and I look forward to more W's and more excitement from LSU. She's building off a hell of a program that Nikki Fogg has passed on to her, and so a lot of intricate parts that are right there, and so she's just gonna.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I love thinking about. We talked earlier about the iconic coaches. I played, of course, for Hall of Famer Jody Conrad. You played at ODU for a Hall of Famer and Marion Stanley. When you think about the coaches, past or present, that I wouldn't have left Texas. You probably wouldn't have left ODU. But if you could have taken a grace year to go play for one coach, again, past or present, living or dead, who would you like to play one season for?
Linda Sharp.
Really? Why Sharp? Why that Sharp? Yeah, why Linda Sharp?
Something. She was also another coach that had it together. You know what I'm saying? When she came to the house, she was definitely second. I was definitely considering going to USC, because she was big on me, And I think I would have missed Cheryl play. No,
you wouldn't have.
It would have been my freshman year. Cheryl and Coop and those guys. And so heavy hitters up there. And I just, she had a heck of a, recruiting pitch, and, it's definitely out there in California, right on the water. They showed a lot of interest. It was just that, during that time, my grandmother was, my grandmother had lung cancer and was stricken with that, and we lost her. So I wanted to go away from home, but I didn't want to venture away too far from my mother.
Yeah. Linda Sharp. Whoa, let's see. Hold up. Like Adrienne Goodson, Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Miller, Rhonda Wyndham. Okay. All right. That would have been nice. That would have been nice. That would have been real nice. So I played for Coach Stanley in the USA system. So I don't have to say Coach Stanley. I love playing for Coach Stanley. She was amazing. I would probably say Pat Summitt. And I would say Pat because I got the opportunity in the 84 Olympic trials, because you remember back then where it was this open trials, like 400 of us in there, and then they would whittle it down. You go to the wall to see if your name was. Pat was running, like it got down to like the final 30 for the Olympic team in 1984. And Pat was running the practice. It was the first time she came in and ran the practice. And, just because we played for coaches who are extremely demanding, it was that kind of thing. So it was a challenge kind of thing. Like, oh, you think you tough? Like, okay, like I ain't following out in your practice. I'm not whatever. And it was like that. It was like, man, it must have been cool playing for a coach who was just like day and night. But we played for those kind of coaches. We played for those kind of coaches. But what I loved about Pat was, she was like, come on, let's go. Come on, I gotta have that. You just always felt like, it's like, okay, did I do it, coach? Like, did I get there? Did I make it? Did I do whatever? Because she was such an iconic, such an amazing coach. What were you gonna say?
Oh, she was mad at me. She was mad at me because I didn't come to the tryouts after we won the championship. I was a little tired. I did. I had some stress on my mind. I had lost my grandmother. So, she felt some type of way.
That totally makes sense. That totally makes sense. Because, it was like if Pat Summitt wanted you to do something, you were expected to do it. Like, I need you to show up for this, Goody. I need you to whatever. So that's absolutely amazing. When I think about the coaches, the contemporary coaches now, because we know we played during a time when there was C. Vivian Stringer. There was Kay Yao. There's all these great coaches out there. Miriam Washington. Who would you play for today if you could do a run one season with a coach contemporary today? D. Staley?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's not even the only one. Like it's split between, because I know her as a point guard because we played together for 2 years. In the 8th. So I was the recipient of a lot of them bombs. I was, right, the dimes. Yeah. So during like the run, so we getting up the floor. She Philly, I'm New Jersey. So we. From the dribble, the bounce, to slice, to shoot, or whatever. That in the park style game, But I'd also play for Adia Barnes.
Nice, yeah, nice, very nice, good stuff there. Yeah, I like Don because I know we're gonna get to be like, hey, we over there in Don. If we're in South Carolina, we're gonna be jamming in practice. I love what Don has brought to the game of basketball. I love what Adia Barnes, watching her run last year and how close they got to winning that thing. I mean, it was just amazing just to see that Final Four and then to see that final game and to see what Dawn has brought to our sport, not just to South Carolina, folks forget, Goody, that, it was Temple first. It was, she did damage at Temple before she ever went somewhere else and then went down there and built this complete evangelistic environment in South Carolina. Why do you think Dawn has become such a great coach?
Well, because she was a great point guard. Great point guards are an extension of a coach, and they see the floor, pretty similar to the coach, and, where the ball needs to go, and, the game and the X's and the O's, and, what needs to be done and the tempo of the game and stuff like that. So, I'm not surprised in any way, shape, or form that she turned out to be a fantastic coach, because she was a fantastic leader on the floor. And so, and then she always, surrounded herself with a supporting cast that, helped her to become who she is as well.
That's the one thing before we transition that I appreciate about Dawn as well, because it's so hard when you get to a certain level to acknowledge, hey, like we got some pieces that are missing. I got some pieces as a coach that are missing. I need to get stronger in some areas, and maybe I'm never going to be this juggernaut in this area. So let me bring somebody in. And I have respected that from the beginning about Dawn Staley. She always understands, look, I'm trying to win ships. And so if I don't have it all, let me put some pieces around me where we can make sure that we're showing up the way I need this program to show. Why didn't you ever coach? I know you're coaching your boys now, and I know you've done some NBA stuff. Are you interested in coaching at the college level or WNBA?
Oh, I mean, definitely. I mean, for me, I did the high school. I tried the college level. For me, I feel comfortable in the WNBA, NBA coaching, just because of the pace of the game and the quickness of my mind, and being able to break down the game, just sitting there watching it, and being open to learning and growing. Being a part of programs that I was a part of. It'd be said, none of it beget anything. Going through so many programs, the leadership program, the NBA assistant coaches program, definitely has prepared me to sit on the sidelines with somebody and assist them, because, for me to sit here and say I'm going to jump right into being a head coach would be absolutely ludicrous. So, be able to slide in and to be, someone's right-hand extension in regards to player development, video coordinating, and, even dibbling and dabbling in the GM aspect of helping, put some of the pieces together. And, it's just there. All of the pieces are there. It's just about, the right fit.
In today's busy, fast-paced world, you need hydration that can go the distance with you. Face it, most sports drinks are more like soda. Many contain tons of sugar, artificial flavoring, artificial colors, and artificial ingredients, sometimes leaving you feeling sluggish, nauseous, and bloated. Well, there's a new sports drink in town, and she's got game. Introducing Electra, supernatural hydration for everyday doers, hustlers, and athletes.
Welcome back to the Opinionators. I am talking with Adrienne Goodson. You know her as Goody, played in the ABL, played in the WNBA All-Star, coach, been in the NBA, working with the WNBA, doing all kinds of great things, changing the world today. And we are talking about all manner of things. We're talking about the college game, which we were both very fortunate to play in some great programs. Talked about the fact that you might see Goody on the sidelines in one of these NBA and WNBA teams sometime soon. Just fits her style a little bit more. But we talked a little bit about the 68 teams that are in the NCAA bracket, if you're following the women's game like that. But we got to turn our attention to something that's a little bit more sobering as we talk about the personalities and the stability of our game. Brittney Griner is, as far as we know, still in captivity in Russia. What are your thoughts on that, Goody, as all of us are praying and watching that situation?
I mean, absolutely unfortunate situation, absolutely incredible. And the fact that it happened to somebody who, is, of course, we put up on a pedestal. We're very proud of her, and especially after her performance this year. And even, kudos to her for the triumphs that she's overcome, tall and commanding that kind of attention, and not having the self-esteem when she was young enough to carry that. Now, she gets the opportunity to be on this big stage, and she plays over there in Russia. And, unfortunate circumstances. Do we say, yes, she Did she know better? Probably. But that's not the case right now. What it is about getting her out of there, and what it is that her doing to make that happen. Because she's played over there, she's paid her dues, and put that team on the map. And so to see that things can't get expedited a little more quickly, just kind of leads us to definitely believe that this is political. And you hate to see that, but it's something that is going on. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And
Well, go ahead.
yeah, and so right now, my way of just paying homage to her, and fighting a war that we honestly can't fight. So we have to use the realm. So I would just suggest that everybody continue to pray, and pray for her safe return.
Yeah.
Family who is really mourning right now and grieving and missing, and wanting her to be okay. Do I think that they're mistreating her? No. Do I think that I think that they're doing what they have to do, but they're probably doing it to the fullest extent of the law because of the situation right now. Maybe something that we have to do to negotiate her out of there. I'm sure that the higher ups are certainly doing that. And I think that we do owe the family a service of, keeping it tight, and, not really trying to shed too much light to it, and, give the, the higher powers, and, the opportunity to work this thing out, with the guidance of God. And because, he has the final say in all of this. And when she comes home is going to be when he says that enough is enough. And so
yeah.
sad, I'm sad, and I lost sleep probably the first 3 or 4 days hearing about it. I really did a lot of sleep, and I remember waking up into like, oh my God, our people's over there, and just go right into prayer, just saying, God is in the midst of Brittany, and she shall.
Yeah, absolutely. Brittany Griner, for those of you who are not aware of who Brittany Griner is, Olympian, played on our gold medal winning team in the Tokyo Olympics, played her college basketball at Baylor, there for Coach Kim Mulkey, won a national championship, at least one while she was there, and a gentle giant. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Brittany Griner, and took her professional career over to Russia, has played there for many years, making over $1 million. And I've heard people talk about, well, Brittany had to go over there to make, that kind of money or whatever. Brittany enjoyed her time over there. And it's just unfortunate that it's come down to a situation where it appears as though she might not be in a safe environment. But our thoughts and prayers are with Brittany, her family, her wife, and we pray for your speedy recovery. But let's turn our attention not all the way from Brittany, because you and I both played. Did you play overseas? You did play overseas a couple, right? Did you took your talents abroad? One of the things that I thought about was when I thought about Brittany being over there, think of how young we were when we went overseas, Goody. Think of 22. I don't know how you were. 5,000 miles. I'm in Italy. I'm in Switzerland. You're there. I felt safe, but think about if something had popped off when we were over there. Were you ever concerned about your safety when you were playing abroad?
When I was playing in Brazil, no, I was 22 years old when I went down there, and I was in the safety of God's care on plenty reasons, and also our managers and my teammates and stuff kept me safe. Now, a lot of times, anytime that I dealt with the Brazilian consulate or the police were, to renew my passport,
right,
get a uniform here and there. Now, would I have been able to buy my way out of that if I had gotten, caught up with something, that was, considered taboo, in their country? How would they have treated me? I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know until that situation happens, and you don't ever think it could be you. Like I am walking around and everybody's screaming my name, Adriani. I don't think that I'm going to get in trouble at the age of 22 years old, no matter how old, no matter what I do. There's always a thought in your head, like,
Not me.
Not me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, one time I was in Italy, just so y'all know, back in the day, 80s, 90s, they gave you an apartment, they gave you a car, and it wasn't never necessarily the best car. It wasn't like they gave me a BMW in Italy or an Audi or anything like that. It was like a 2-seater Fiat or something like that. And I remember one time, because I drive fast, and I remember one time running a light in my little village, and the police were after me, Goody. Boy, I dipped into an alley. At that point, I wasn't speaking Italian really well, and my heart was beating so fast because I was like, listen, you little chocolate girl over here in Italy, dipping into an alley, can't speak the language, you going to jail. Like, the worst things were coming through my head. But I stayed there, was late for practice, but I didn't go to jail. And then I saw the policeman at one of our games, and he was like, Francesca, da, da, da. And I was like, yeah, but you didn't catch me. You didn't catch me that time. You didn't catch me that time. What was one of the craziest things that happened to you playing abroad?
Oh my God. Like, there's so many things. That's why I said,
You're not me.
Emmanuel, God with us, I'm telling you.
Yep.
So many instances where I should have just been gone, And I remember first year I go down there on this like $15,000 contract. I'm like, yo, I'm all geeked. It's gonna be all cash. But by the time exactly, and all cash, $15,000.
Yeah.
A whole lot different. $15,000 in the United States, and all that guap. So you get the opportunity to stack your paper. So in saying that, I just really had a fantastic season my first year. So I was hitting all these bonuses, and then this team comes out of nowhere and wants to take me to the beach, and they want to make me an offer. So, it just wowing me and stuff like that. So say, well, Adriani, what is it that you would like to do? So after they, fill my stomach up with these shrimp that are like this and
right.
fries and anything I wanted, I said, oh, I want to ride the jet ski. So they're like, you know how to ride jet ski? I'm like, yeah, I know how to ride jet ski. I said, oh, they're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, my daughter Cynthia is going to go with you. I said, okay, cool, no problem. So, yeah, come on, Adriani, let's go. Boom. So we get on this jet ski. We go, boom, we out, right? Just riding, zoom, 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 kill it, breeze in my hair, just feeling, oh my God, I just signed a contract that double how much money I made, plus bonus. I've only been down here for 6 months.
Yeah.
Little did I see, I didn't even see all of the fishing lines that I was getting ready to run through. Going 70 miles an hour, dude. And my teammates like, Adriani, you crazy. And flying out everywhere. They cussing me out in Portuguese. I'm like, yo, what just happened? God was watching me. Emmanuel, praise you. Sending me home in a box to my mother with no head.
Oh my gosh. It was crazy times overseas. But I can tell y'all, whether you have been following the women's game for a while or not, all of us will tell you that there is, as much as we love playing in the States, stateside, playing in front of great fans, there is nothing like a bread box full of Brazilians or Italians, like 2,000 of them, just yelling your name or just filling that arena with just the love and appreciation. Like, you would be like, dang, it's like 20,000 people in here, because they just so much appreciated the talents of, especially the foreigners, because we were way better than our teammates. And so they were getting ready for this big old show. But I just remember being in Italy like, this is some crazy stuff, right? It was amazing.
And I have to say to you, I did. In Brazil, I was playing in front of crowds of 18, 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Filling up the bowl like football. And they love ball, and they love this volleyball. And
listen, they make you feel yourself. Like, we were already feeling ourselves overseas. Yeah, but yes. They make you like, Oh yeah. Like I'm definitely feeling myself. Like it doesn't matter walking down the street. Adriana, they're just whatever, getting free food. No illegal. Nothing was illegal. It was like, this is the life. This right here is the life.
You got 20,000 people screaming, "Ayo, ayo,
ayo." Crazy. But we can talk about that all day, y'all. Let me tell you, we're gonna do a whole show where we just literally talk about the escapades overseas. But we got to get through this playbook right here. As y'all see, it's a lot of scratching and going on. We talked about that. We're gonna do a little segment called "Hell to the Yeah" or "Hell to the No." Hell to the yeah or hell to the no. All right, I'm gonna rapid fire you. I'm gonna say a subject. Tell me what you think about it, and then at the end of it, tell me. So hell to the yeah, you for it, or hell to the no, you not. All right, here we go. You ready? You ready, Goody?
No.
Transfer portal.
Say that again.
Transfer portal.
Transfer portal. Hell to the no.
Really? Whoa! Tell me about it. Yeah.
Well, I just think that we're in a day and age where kids just are like, oh, F it. I'm just going to go and I'm going to go over here because I don't like to be disciplined, or I don't like accountability, or I don't like this and I don't like that. If there's a legitimate reason why that player, even if they don't feel like their skills are being developed and different things like that, then it's cool. But if it has something to do with like, these character defining things, then hell to the no.
NIL. Getting paid for your name, image, and likeness.
Hell to the yeah. And actually, I want my 40 acres in the mule.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can I rewind? And they go, hey, listen, you guys have to come up with some kind of package for those people that, because we made a cool million for Old Dominion University.
Hey, yes.
That and every bit of, how you sell these recruits when they come into school and they show my picture and they show everybody else and they get more. Can I get a little bit of something? Listen, there's enough for everybody to get a piece of the pie.
Amen.
To the yeah.
Amen, sister. Hell to the yeah for me. I want my reparations. I want my 40 acres and a mule. I'm with you on that, Goody. It's like, y'all should have put a little something aside. Y'all knew this day was coming. Y'all knew it was coming. National champion. How many, like when they wanted to get somebody at ODU, I bet you were the host sometimes. I hosted Clarissa Davis. I want my cut. Like, it's crazy, right? Yeah. So we got a unanimous hell to the yeah on that. All right. Men coaching in the women's college game. Last one.
Women's college game, hell to the yeah. Especially those coaches that have been there for the long haul, and those coaches that are the fabric. If it's a coach that you're just using to check some boxes, then hell to the, hell to the no. But hell to the yeah, definitely. I know some great male coaches that have been out there doing their thing and doing it and really care about the women's game. And I've watched them sacrifice, just as much as we have as female coaches.
Hell to the yeah for me on that one. My first female coach was Jody Conrad. Like all three of the coaches I had in high school were guys. And what I love about them, to your point, was that they were steeped in the girls' game. Like they didn't just, let me just coach these girls because I know, but like they were. Coach Gary Blair, who just retired from A&M, was my first coach. All they had done was coach girls, and so it's like, okay, yeah, then somebody like you, hell to the yeah. But some of these people that I've actually been in conversations with them, like, yeah, I'm gonna go over to the girls' game. They need some better coaches, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, you can stay over there. Like you can actually stay over there. We good. All right. So that was our final hell to the yeah, hell to the no. We're gonna take a quick little break and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna close it with Adrian Goodson on the Opinionators. We'll be right back, y'all.
Before recruiting wars, before tweets, likes, and snaps, before March Madness, there was a girl with her dream and a love for the game.
right, y'all. Welcome back to the Opinionators, the most provocative women's sports show on the planet. My guest, Adrienne Goody Goodson, is with me, and we've been talking about everything in addition to the NCAA finals or NCAA tournament, to our coaches, to playing overseas, to Brittany Griner. If you're just joining us, you're late, but you can wrap up with us right now. So, Goody, we're going to finish up with a segment that I call "Ooh Wee." That's when like a move, or that's when something that's happening right now is just like so good. It doesn't even have to be about basketball, but it's just got you saying, "Ooh wee." What's happening right now has got you saying, "Ooh wee."
Oh my goodness! Other than the Brittany the Brittany Griner situation, that's just been ooh wee.
And you got to have the face with it. You got to have the face with that. Let's see. My ooh wee is going to be Caitlin Clark at Iowa. Girlfriend is dropping them from the logo, the half court logo. So I'm watching her. You know how we are. You know how we can be extremely critical. Well, you know, you got to ball. We're from Missouri. You got to show us that you can ball. So everybody's like, Caitlin Clark is this. Caitlin Clark is this. I said, okay, let me see. I turned on the game. She made a three. I was like, okay, all right. She made another three. I was like, all right. Oh, that's pretty good. Then she launched one like from half court. And I ain't talking about desperation. I'm talking about lined it up and just came off her dribble and just dropped that thing. And I said, oh, wait, like this girl can go, like crazy go. And the crazy thing is that she's a sophomore. I'm sitting there going, what? She's a sophomore? She's dropping 30 on y'all? She's dropping 50 on y'all? She's dropping 50. It's crazy. It's crazy. So let's finish this up, Goody, with our predictions for who will win the 2022 Women's NCAA national title. Who are your thoughts? Who you think is going to be in the final and why?
Well, if Dawn and those guys learn their lesson from the loss from in the SEC championship, I'm definitely I'm definitely gonna go with her. If they lose to Maryland, then I think that is anybody's game over there. If Maryland, that's a tough battle to climb, but I don't really see that happening, but it could happen. You just never know.
Yeah, I would say it's going to be difficult to beat South Carolina because South Carolina has all those pieces. They got the bigs, they got the guards, they got the shooters, they got the coach, they got the swag, they got the experience. They got all those pieces. And we know we've witnessed teams that had all of that and didn't win. But I do think that they have last year's, man, that memory can be a great motivator. You lose in the national championship game. Hey, I'm with them on that. We lost that year. You guys won. That fueled us to win our national championship in 1986. So I think that's the X factor that South Carolina has, is not only do they have all the physical pieces, the mental pieces, the coaching, the fans are going to be there, but they got that last shot that was like the nail in the coffin, and they did not win their title. All right, last thing. It's March Madness. Tell us about a quick little story where you experienced personally as a college athlete, March Madness, March Sadness, or March Gladness. Which one? Not all three, just one. Give me a March Madness, Gladness, or Sadness moment for you.
You go into overtime, lose the game. And then just, being on the other end of that, and you're the one who's getting the steal that's laying it up, or, the coach is blowing his top 1 second and then glorifying you the next. And so it's just all these ups and downs and ebbs and flows, and it's March Madness.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Like, I remember that final game, 1986, Lexington, Kentucky. We were considered the best team in the nation at Texas, playing against the best player in the nation, and Cheryl Miller with Cynthia Cooper and Coach Sharp. So it was like the best player against the best team. And I remember, like, we had been fueled by that loss from the previous year. And I just remember, like, I was hyped. Everybody was just hyped. And so it became apparent we were going to win this game. And Cheryl fouled out. And it was that weird moment where we were hyped because we knew we were about to be crowned champion. But you look over there on that bench, and the best player in the world in women's basketball was sitting there sad. And it was the weirdest kind of mixture, because you received nothing but respect for Cheryl Miller. But at the same time, we just won a national championship. But you just, you're consoling a fellow warrior. And that's what I love about what we get to do. Even now, we get to revisit these moments. We know we played at the highest level. We've had the lowest lows because we've had our own sorrows and triumphs as college and pro basketball players, but we get to be a part of such a great game. And you have gotten to be a part of a great show of the Opinionators with the always incomparable Adrian Goody Goodson. Adrian, we will see you on your show, the WNBA State of Mind. Y'all need to check her out. It's been my honor to hang out with y'all. Come back next week when more Opinionators are on the show. See ya!